Do you want to see a movie?
Yes.
Okay, so before we start our today's discussion, just take a look at the video. So, keep in silence. Just concentrate.
This is the speedometer of a car. The needle near the 40 tells us that this car is going at 40 kilometers per hour. Do you know what that means? Join me in the following session to learn about speed and how it is related to distance and time. The speed of a car is usually measured in kilometers per hour. The needle in the speedometer shows that this car is going at 40 kilometers per hour. That simply means that traveling at this speed, the car will cover a distance of 40 kilometers in 1 hour, 80 kilometers in 2 hours, and 120 kilometers in 3 hours. Apart from kilometers per hour, speed can also be measured in kilometers per minute, meters per minute, meters per second, and so on. Take a look at this bee. This bee has traveled 4 meters in 2 seconds. Even though the speed of this bee is not provided to us directly, we can easily find out the speed of this bee just with the help of the distance and time taken. We know that the bee traveled 4 meters in 2 seconds. The speed of the bee is the distance it traveled in 1 second. Can you guess how much distance it traveled in 1 second? The bee has traveled 2 meters in 1 second. Therefore, we can say that the speed of this bee is 2 meters per second. Always remember, the formula for measuring speed is distance traveled divided by the time taken. A rocket travels at a speed of 10 kilometers per second. Can you guess how much distance it will cover in 3 seconds? The answer is simple. Since the speed is given, we know that the rocket covers 10 kilometers in 1 second. In order to find the distance it traveled in 3 seconds, we must multiply 10 by 3. 10 times 3 is 30. Therefore, the distance covered by the rocket in 3 seconds is 30 kilometers. Always remember that the formula for measuring distance is speed multiplied by the time taken. Now to a more challenging question. Can you guess how much distance the rocket would travel in 3 minutes? Did you notice that the speed of the rocket is provided to us in kilometers per second, but the time is in minutes? Before applying the formula for distance, we must make sure that the time and speed are given with respect to the same unit of time. For example, if the speed is given in meters per second or kilometers per second, we have to make sure that the time also is in seconds. If not, we have to calculate the time in seconds. Since in this problem, the speed of the rocket is given in kilometers per second, we will have to convert the time, which is in minutes, into seconds. We need to find out how many seconds there are in 3 minutes. There are 60 seconds in 1 minute. Therefore, in 3 minutes, there are 180 seconds. Now that we have the speed in kilometers per second and the time in seconds, we can easily apply the formula to calculate the distance. We know the formula to find the distance is speed multiplied by time. 10 multiplied by 180 is equal to 1,800. Therefore, the rocket would travel 1,800 kilometers in 180 seconds or 3 minutes. An aeroplane flew from city A to city B at a speed of 900 kilometers per hour, covering a distance of 9,000 kilometers. Can you guess how long it took to fly this distance? It is possible for us to find the time from the plane's speed and the distance it covered. Always remember, the formula for calculating time is distance traveled divided by the speed of the object. Since the speed and distance are known to us, we can easily find out the time the aeroplane took to reach city B. 9,000 divided by 900 is equal to 10. Therefore, the plane took 10 hours to reach city B. We're now going to progress to another topic of this session, average speed. While we are traveling in a bus or a car, we know that our speed does not remain the same throughout the journey. In such cases, we can find out the average speed of the vehicle. Watch this example carefully. This car travels from A to B at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour for 2 hours and continues its journey for 3 more hours from B to C at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. In situations like this, we can find the average speed of the car for the entire journey. The following are the steps we need to follow in order to find the average speed of this car. First, find the total distance of the journey from A to C. Second, find the total time taken to travel from A to C. Finally, to find average speed, divide the total distance by the total time. Let us do the first step. In order to find the distance from A to C, we have to first find the distance from A to B and B to C separately, and then add them together. Let us find the distance for the first part of the journey that is, from A to B. The speed for the first part of the journey is 40 kilometers per hour, and the time taken is 2 hours. We already know that the formula for measuring distance is speed times time. 40 times 2 is equal to 80. Therefore, the distance from A to B is 80 kilometers. Now let us find the distance for the second part of the journey, that is, from B to C. The speed for this part of the journey is 50 kilometers per hour, and the time taken is 3 hours. Distance is equal to speed times time. 50 times 3 is equal to 150. Therefore, the distance from B to C is 150 kilometers. Since we have found out the distances from A to B and B to C, we shall add both of them to find the total distance. 80 plus 150 is equal to 230. Therefore, the total distance from A to C is 230 kilometers. Now that we have found out the total distance, we need to find out the total time. This is quite simple. We know the first part of the journey took 2 hours, and the second part of the journey took 3 hours. So the total time taken to travel the whole distance is 2 hours plus 3 hours, which is equal to 5 hours. Now we have come to the final step. We now know the total distance of the journey and also the total time taken to complete the journey. To find the average speed, we simply have to divide the total distance by the total time taken for the journey. 230 divided by 5 is equal to 46. Therefore, the average speed of the car is 46 kilometers per hour. I hope you now have a clear idea on the topic speed. If you're ready to solve speed-related questions, click on the exercise button.
Okay, so group 1, what can you say about the video? Anybody? Group 2, group 3. Any volunteer? What can you say about the video? What was all the video? Stand up. Precious.
The video is about speed, distance, and height.
Okay. Another. Group 1. Group 3. From the group 3. Group 1. What can I say about the video?
About speed, time,
Okay, Arlene.
and average speed.
Okay, so the video tells about speed, distance, and time. How about group 1? Volunteer from the group 1.
The video is all about how to find the answer average speed, distance, time.
Okay, so clap your hands. Okay, so the video talks about distance, speed, and time. Okay, so there are examples well explained by the video, how to compute the speed, distance, and the time. Okay, so I will give you the definition about speed, distance, and time. Okay, so the definition about speed, distance, and time. Okay, so average speed. Okay, everybody read. Average speed. Speed. Okay, so those are the definitions of the average, the speed. And this is also the definition of the average speed. So average speed is the measure of the distance traveled in a given period of time. It is sometimes referred to as the ratio of distance and time. So average speed, the formula of average speed is distance over time. Okay. The next is the definitions of the distance. So, distance, everybody read.
Distance is the total length between two positions. Time is the quantity measured or measurable period during which an action.
Okay, so distance, the definitions of distance and time. Okay, so these are the units used in distance. When you see distance, covers miles, kilometers, meters, feet, and centimeters. Okay, when we see time, hours, we have seconds. Then speed, we have miles per hour, kilometers, meters per second, feet per second, and centimeter. So if you can see that abbreviation, so you already know the meaning. For example, MPH, so that is miles per hour. PM, then slash H, kilometer per hour. Okay, so next. Okay, so you already have the group.
Ano siya design?